Alright, at the end of the last video, right before my batteries died, we changed this problem, 10.1 divided by 2.41, into a problem, 1010 divided by 241. We did that by moving decimal places. Now we've reduced this to a problem where we're dividing by a whole number, so we can do it. Let's try it out. How many times does 241 go into 101? Well, it doesn't. So we have to ask, how many times does 241 go into 1010? I believe the answer is 4. Let's try it out and see if that works. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 4 is 8. Add 1, we get a 9. We subtract, and I'm surprisingly bad at subtraction for a math person. 46 is what I'm getting. Okay, great. So it looks like 4 was the correct number at least. Now, okay, we divided 1010 by 241, and we got 4, but we have this big remainder. So we might want to continue this problem and get a more accurate answer. If we want to do that, what we can do is add a decimal place to the end of 1010 and put a 0 at the end of there. The reason that's legal is because 1010 is the same number as 1010.0. So we can add as many point zeros to the end of our long division as we want. But if we add a decimal place, or a decimal, in our dividend, we have to put that decimal right above where it is in the dividend in our answer. Now, we added a 0 there so we can bring it down, and we can continue to divide like we normally would. So how many times does 241 go into 460? I think the answer should be 1. Multiply the 1 by the 241. That's just 241. Subtract. And hopefully, if I'm subtracting correctly, the answer is 219. Let's do this one more time. Let's continue this to one more decimal place, and then we'll round. So if we want another decimal place, all we have to do is add a 0 in our dividend, and bring that 0 down, and continue dividing. How many times does 241 go into 2,190? My guess is that the answer is 9. Let's try 9. Multiply 9 by 241. 9 times 4 is 36. 6. 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, good. It looks like 9 was the right answer. We have to subtract, unfortunately. My least favorite thing to do. Oh, see, that's why. 8 minus 6 is 2, and I think that's right. We get a remainder of 21. If we want to continue this problem, we could continue to add zeros and continue to divide. You can go on forever if you want to. I'm going to cut this thing off, and I'm going to round 4.19 up to 4.2. And I'm going to say that our original problem was 10.1 divided by, what was the original problem, 2.41, is approximately, if you want an approximately sign, it's a squiggly equal sign, it's approximately 4.2. There you go, that's your answer. Now, if we want an example of why we would want to divide decimals, we can always go back to my handy-dandy gas station receipt from this morning. And I'm curious this time what kind of gas mileage I got in my car. I wrote down from my odometer or whatever that I got 330.5 miles. And on this receipt here it says that I put in 9.6 gallons. And I want to know what my gas mileage is. I'm a little obsessed with my gas mileage. So let's figure it out. What is my gas mileage? So in our final answer, gas mileage is measured in miles per gallon. So our units on this thing are going to be miles per gallon. Those are going to be our units on the final answer. Now if we want our final answer to have these units, we better divide our number with miles in it by our number with gallons in it. All we have to do is match up the numbers with the units. We had 330.5 miles, and I put in 9.6 gallons. So there you go. If we want miles per gallon, all we do is divide miles by gallons. So what that leaves us with, mathematically, I guess, is 330.5 divided by 9.6. All right, well, why don't you try that one on your own? See if you can do it. Hit pause on your video and come back and see if you got it right. Okay, so you might remember from last time that whenever we're using long division, we need to be dividing by a whole number. We can make 9.6 a whole number by moving its decimal one place to the right. However, that's only legal if we do the same thing inside the long division sign. So we move the decimal one place to the right to give ourselves a whole number over here. To do that, we move the decimal one place to the right in the dividend. Now we can divide like we always would. Question is, how many times does 96 go into, let's see, 330, I guess? The answer is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. We carry the 1. Is that right? Yeah. We have to subtract. And I'm getting 42. Continue the problem by bringing down the 5. And how many times does 96 go into 425? I think the answer again is 4. So 4 times 96, let's see, 24. Carry the 2. 9 times 4 is 36. Add the 2, we get 38. Get a remainder of 41. Now, I want to know a little bit more accurately to another decimal place what my mileage was. So let's continue the problem. We already have our decimal place here at the end of 3,305. We can add a 0 to the end of that, and it doesn't change anything. If we add a 0 in our dividend, we have to add a 0 in our quotient, or in our answer. I'm sorry, if we add a decimal in our dividend, we have to add a decimal in our answer. And we can continue the problem. Bring down the 0. How many times does 96 go into 410? It should go in 4 times again. 6 times 4 is 24. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. We get 384. We could continue this problem. Get a remainder, add another 0, get more decimal places. I'm pretty satisfied with 34.4, so I'm going to leave it as that. So the original problem was, what is 330.5, my miles, divided by 9.6, my gallons? And we got 330.5 divided by 9.6 was approximately, I'll put an approximately sign here again, 34.4. And if we wanted units on that, the units would be miles per gallon. There we go, good job. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.